creative piece of work there on the Sunday Footy Show floor. North Melbourne and Port Adelaide was a big game last night, wasn't it? The Kangaroos came off, unfortunately, second best for our next guest, Luke Ball, in a really good game of footy.
Yeah, well, it was Port were brilliant. They got the jump on them. Justin Westhoff, amazing. Best quarter I've ever seen him play. 13 possessions and 2 goals in that first quarter. Robbie Gray, Travis Brake, superb there. Brent Harvey was probably the Kangaroos' best after quarter time. Got them back in it. Nick Del Santo in his first game back. But we're joined by the star half-back from the Kangaroos, Jamie. Thanks for coming in. Always tough after a loss. And they really did get the jump on you, didn't they, in that first quarter?
They did. I think they were about 5 goals up at quarter time or near enough. So it's always hard to peg that back. And, you know, we had a plan just to keep chipping away. And unfortunately, I think the end result was about 5 goals. So the damage was done.
It felt like you weren't playing that bad. And the stats showed that you were well and truly in the game. It was just their efficiency going inside 50 that, you know, almost every time they went in, they scored, whereas you guys struggled to get that free shot inside 50. Yeah,
and I think it's probably been a trend for us the last few weeks. I know last week in the first quarter we dominated against Freo and they had 5 inside 50s, kicked 3 goals too, and last night again the quality of entries they had were just a lot better than ours, and we seemed to be going in long and wide, and even when our forwards were marking it, they weren't in good spots, so it hurt us a bit.
Like Bally said, you had just as much as the ball of them in the first quarter, you just couldn't capitalise. It was probably the third quarter let you down. 2 goals, 9. You had repeat injuries, and there were a lot of kickable goals in that 2 goals, 9. So missed opportunities probably cost you to be in the game close enough to have a crack.
Yeah, especially when you're at half-time 5 or 6 goals down, and then you kick 2-9 in the third, and they kick 3 straight. You only 11 scoring shots to 3, and you peg back 3 points. It's pretty deflating, and that's obviously the guys will certainly be working on it, but it comes back to the point as well. Whilst we miss some easier shots, we still haven't got enough quality entries as well. So we need to work on that.
You won your first 9 games, Jamie, and obviously it's fallen away obviously since then. What were you doing in those rounds that you're not doing now as a side, you think?
I think we're just not taking the game on as much, and I think with the ball in hand we've probably just succumbed to kicking the ball down the line a little bit too much, and we've been working on that over the last few weeks, but we're certainly playing a different style of footy, which is not what we've been trying to do. We've obviously gone away from a few different things, so we just got to keep working hard. And whilst we're playing good footy here and there, it's patches in a game at the minute are really hurting us, and you know it's fine for a couple of weeks if you keep saying, oh, we're just playing bits and pieces here, but it's got to the point now 5 in a row we've lost, and it's really costing us.
How have you seen your year, J-Mac? Because you've seemed to have stepped up as a leader, and your run's been good out off the half-back line. Look at this here. This is perfect, what we're talking about, and finish it with a goal.
It was the only time last night I don't think I fumbled the ball, which was all right. But, yeah, look, my year's been okay, but I suppose it's just been about, for me, working with the other defenders and really trying to sort of form a good bond down there. And the first 9 weeks of the year was really good. We were actually holding up really well. And the last 5 weeks, it's been disappointing. And as Bally just said before, the scores per entry have been way too high the last few weeks, so it's been disappointing.
Lindsay Thomas head high has been one of the stories of the year, and you found yourself as an unusual side note in this story with the now infamous on-field or off-field exchange with Jeff Walsh. You probably haven't had a chance to clear the air. What actually happened?
Oh, no, it was just a misconstrued conversation. I was just on the bench and I was talking to one of the other boys, and I was just sharing my thoughts on what was going on, and yeah, unfortunately, you know, one of the guys on the bench just relayed it, and after the game there wasn't a fact-checking process in place, I suppose, and it's been dealt with now, and we've moved on. So
was it a tricky one for you that week?
Oh, not really. You know, I got a call on the next morning actually, and we cleared it up, and I said, you know, what I thought had happened, and North moved pretty quickly to sort of hit it on the head, and look, they copped their punishment, and we've all moved on, and everyone's been really good. So
your view though, isn't it? You think it gets a hard run from the umpires?
Oh, no, not necessarily. I think the thing that sort of frustrates me more is I just feel for Lindsay. I just think that he's sort of been made the poster boy a little bit for it, and you know, it's just a competition-wide trend, I suppose, is the ducking and the shrugging of the shoulders, and you know, everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of players are doing it, and I just think that you know, Lindsay probably gets splashed around a little bit too much.
Do you fear that you can actually miss the 8 this year as a club, or it's not something you think about at this stage?
Not really something you think about. It's not something you really want to think about, I suppose. But I think the confidence that we've got, though, is that, you know, when I was talking before, we know that we actually play some good footy at the start of the year, and we can play that footy. And last year, you know, we finished 8th and ended up making a prelim, and we got close. We were on top of the Eagles early, but fell away. So we know that, you know, you just got to get in there and give yourself an opportunity, and that's what we're looking for.
First goal of the last night, Spud Ferrito was pinged for deliberate rush behind. Is this a free kick or not?
Oh, it's a good question. Well, it was a free kick last night. It was certainly paid one. There was a little bit of conversation going on, and there was a little bit of confusion around the rule, and we were trying to sort of understand, and the umpire said he had prior opportunity, and which apparently is a rush behind. So,
who you got to come back into the North Melbourne side in the next week or so?
The next week or so.
Higgins and those boys are
How
too
far
far
away
away.
is Higgins?
No, he's still. I think from all reports, he's going to get a scan early this week, and he'll start running this week. So he certainly won't be back this week. But a couple of other boys are sort of chipping away, but they're not immediately sort of coming in the next week or so.
Well, Waite and Wells will be better for the run, though. It was a bit of an almost game for Jared Waite last night, wasn't it? He leapt at the ball well, he tackled well, and probably could have had 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah, it is. And I think, as you say, it'll be better for the run, but he's missed probably, I think he might have only missed 2 or 3 games to the bye in there as well. So you have 4 weeks off of any footy. It's always hard to come back and have an impact straight away. And, you know, Wellesley's got the class that we probably really need as well, so he'll be better for it. So next week, they'll come out and perform again.
We'll have a look at the votes from yesterday afternoon, and Chad Wingard, our guest, shortly. I thought he was back to his best, started it off in that first quarter. Travis Boak, a terrific captain's game from him across the 4 quarters. Westhoff, as we spoke about, first quarter was unbelievable, tailed off a bit later on. Trengove doing a fantastic job in the ruck against Todd Goldstein as well.
You agree with those?
Yeah.
Yeah, apart from the fact I played on Chad Wingard.
Come on, Bally.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Only for a little bit in the last half.
When he was quiet in the second quarter.
Defensive, didn't he? Hang around, you've got a student eye for the game, and you're not far off this team yourself, so I want to see your thoughts on the Australian-made Team of the Year with Matthew Lloyd, the Aussie-made logo helping Aussies for 30 years now, Matthew.
Thanks, Hutchie. One of his teammates, unfortunately, goes out of the side. Had a great year, Robbie Tarrant. He drops out, and Tom Mitchell I've left out. And anyway, we'll take a look at the ends. Daniel Talia has been banging down the door for a number of weeks. He comes in for Tarrant. Scotty Pendlebury comes in. He had a lean patch early in the year, but his last 6 or 7 weeks has been brilliant. Replaces Tom Mitchell. So Bally just picked me up on a player, Jasper Pittard, who's had a massive year. So I think he's one looking at Matty Boyd's spot, or a Heath Shaw, who's dropped off a little bit over the last few weeks, Hutchie. So that's how it stands.
Not one Kangaroo's a bit disrespectful to our guest, is it?
Oh, well, they've had a lean run, Hutchie. So maybe...
Robbie Tarrant's job on Charlie Dixon last night wasn't
pretty good.
No, he's been
I don't
good.
think Charlie kicked a goal, did he, last night?
But this man was
keeping goalless and
best man on the ground. So
no Roos, what do you think of that, Jamie?
I think Robbie Tarrant's pretty stiff.
Yeah.